Mitchell lay awake long after, staring at the ceiling again, but this time, the cracks did not look like endings. They looked like paths. Hope did not arrive like a trumpet blast. It arrived like a whisper that Mitchell did not fully trust. She carried it carefully in her chest as the days passed, afraid that if she leaned on it too hard, it would collapse and take her with it. Mr. Donald's flash drive stayed hidden inside her school bag, wrapped in an old notebook like something fragile and alive. At night, she and her mother spoke in low voices. What if they don't listen? Mitchell asked one evening as they ate rice quietly. Then we will still speak, Mrs. Johnson replied. Silence has never saved anyone. Still, Mitchell hesitated. Kingsbridge had already shown her how easily truth could be bent when money leaned on it. She imagined standing in front of those polished halls again, imagined I sliding over her with judgment already formed. She was tired of being brave. Samantha, on the other hand, was very comfortable. With Mitchell gone, life returned to its familiar rhythm. Laughter echoed easily again. Samantha reclaimed her seat at the center of attention, her presence unquestioned. Teachers relaxed. Students followed her lead without realizing they were doing it. She walked through the school like a victory parade, her confidence blooming unchecked. She didn't even fight it, Zora said one afternoon, shaking her head. That was fast. Samantha smiled faintly. Poor people know when they've lost. But arrogance, like a badly tied knot, always loosened itself eventually. Samantha had grown careless. She laughed too loudly. She spoke too freely. She sent messages without thinking twice. When her friends hesitated, she waved them off. Relax, she said. No one would dare touch me. Meanwhile, Mr. Donald walked quietly. He cross-checked timestamps. Compared writing styles. Followed digital trails left by people who had never needed to hide before. Each discovery made his mouth tighten, not with anger, but with disappointment. They never imagined consequences, he murmured to himself. When he finally called Mitchell to his small apartment, she came with her mother, her stomach knotted tightly. He connected his laptop and played the recordings. Samantha's voice filled the room, light and cruel. Let's starve her out. Mitchell pressed her hand to her mouth. Her mother closed her eyes. This is enough, Mr. Donald said. But evidence needs a stage. Mitchell's heart skipped. What kind of stage? The kind they cannot ignore. The invitation arrived 2 days later. Kingsbridge Founders Gala. It was whispered about like a myth. An event for parents who donated more than they spoke, alumni who owned buildings, sponsors who believed money was morality. Mitchell stared at the message for a long time. They won't want me there, she said. That is why you must go, Mr. Donald replied. The night of the gala, Samantha arrived glowing. Her dress was red, dramatic, chosen carefully. She smiled at familiar faces, accepted compliments effortlessly. She felt untouchable. Eric stood near the back of the hall, tense and quiet. He had been arguing with his parents for days, but nothing had changed. He didn't know what would happen tonight, only that something felt inevitable. When Mitchell walked in, the room shifted. She wore a simple dress. No jewelry. Her hair neatly braided back. Her mother walked beside her, head held high, wearing her best wrapper and blouse. Whispers rippled outward. What is she doing here? Isn't that the scholarship girl? Samantha noticed. Her smile faltered for just a second. Then the lights dimmed. The principal stepped forward to speak, but the screen behind him flickered. And then it began. Messages appeared. Screenshots. Audio clips. Samantha's laughter filled the hall, unmistakable and sharp. Let's starve her out. A gasp swept through the crowd like wind through dry grass. Samantha froze. Her face drained of color. Parents turned. Donors frowned. Phones were raised, forgotten in hands that suddenly needed proof. Mitchell stepped forward slowly. Her heart pounded, but her voice came out steady. I came to Kingsbridge to learn, she said. Not to compete. Not to steal. I came because someone believed I deserved a chance. She looked around the room. I was punished for existing in a place that was not built for me. But dignity does not depend on income. Silence fell, heavy, undeniable. Samantha tried to speak. No sound came. For the first time in her life, power did not answer her. And Mitchell understood then, this was not revenge. This was truth, finally allowed to breathe. The silence that followed the last audio clip was not empty. It was full. It pressed against the walls of the grand hall, against the chandeliers, against the people who had come dressed in wealth and certainty and now found themselves staring at something uncomfortable and alive. Samantha stood perfectly still. For a moment, Mitchell almost felt sorry for her, not because Samantha deserved pity, but because exposure stripped people down faster than cruelty ever could. Samantha's mouth opened slightly, as though she wanted to laugh it off, to say something clever and sharp that would make the room forget what it had just heard. Nothing came. Parents began to whisper to one another. A man in a dark suit shook his head slowly. A woman clutched her purse closer to her body, as though money itself might feel ashamed. Principal Houghton cleared his throat, the sound painfully loud in the hush. This will be investigated immediately, he said. Mr. Donald's voice rose calmly from the side of the hall. It already has been. He stepped forward, older than the room, steadier than its foundations. I have verified every piece of evidence, he continued. The accounts, the devices, the recordings. This was a coordinated attempt to destroy a student's opportunity. A murmur rippled through the crowd. Samantha finally found her voice. This is a misunderstanding, she said, her tone light, practiced. People fake things all the time. Mitchell turned to face her fully. No, Mitchell said softly. People fake kindness. This was hatred. That was when the principal's composure cracked. Samantha Davis, he said sharply, you are suspended pending expulsion.